少年ジャンプス。
You smell that, boys? Love is in the air, and nothing says love quite like forcible matrimony. Am I right? Hey, what's up? Welcome to Shonen Chumps, the only anime podcast on the gosh darn internet. That features the three of us. As always, I'm Brennan.
I'm Sean.
I'm Dylan.
And if you don't know, this is an anime podcast where the three of us watch anime together, and then we hang out, and then we talk about it, and then you're welcome to sit in and listen to us talk about it, and eventually hit us back about it. And, generally, hanging. You're hanging. What's up? Welcome. And if you're a return customer, you already knew all this shit. So welcome back. I'm so sorry. Anyways, we did watch a show. And the show this week was The Ancient Magus Bride.
たった一つたった一つのたった一人たった一人の私はここ
So before we get started, I just want to let any listeners know that you can email us at shonenchumps@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And tweet at us at Shonen Chumps.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of emails recently, and we love it.
It's really nice. Thank you so much to everyone who's reached out. It's been fun chatting.
We love our fans, but I don't want to call you fans because that seems weird.
It's a little derogatory.
I'll just call you chumps.
Yeah.
And we are also chumps.
We're all
chumps
chumps
together
here, dude. We're all chumps.
Shonen chumps. Okay, anyways, let's get started the way we regularly do by asking you guys what you thought of the show in one sentence. Dylan?
This was mediocre, ... But the end made me wonder about what could have been.
I thought.
Period.
Oh, there it is. I thought you were gonna go comma instead of ... I was predicting
bitch, changing it up.
Keeping us on our toes.
Maybe I'll go next.
Yeah, go for it, Sean.
My sentence is, name me a more boring anime.
Oh,
Name one genius that ain't crazy. You can't, dude. You can't do for both of those.
Ready with the Kanye West quotes.
We love
All right.
Yeezy in this house, and if you don't, that's fine, and I respect your opinion.
Yeezy is Kanye West to anybody who doesn't know. Don't be ashamed if you don't know.
It's okay. We all start somewhere. My sentence is, there were parts of this show that I actually liked, but there were many more parts that I did not like. And that is my sentence.
Nice, dude. Okay, what did you guys know about the show before we started watching it? I'll start by saying that I didn't know anything.
I know nothing. Knew nothing. I still know nothing. Go on.
Don't we all know nothing? Yeah. I also knew very little. I had only heard sort of the hype murmur around this, just generally people being like, oh my god, this is one of the best shows of the new season. Oh my god, look at how beautiful it is. And then I saw like one or two frames and it looked nice.
Right.
And I was like, okay, maybe this is something people want to hear about. I had no idea about the genre. I had no idea about any of the plot or any of the context that is like what you can't deduce from the name itself, I guess. So I was kind of in the dark too.
Well, I only now realized when you said the title that it's Magus.
Magus.
I was reading it Magus.
I mean, maybe
Same.
it is.
And in my head, I kept thinking Magnus. And I kept typing that out and not getting the show that I wanted to find. And, like, I can discern nothing from the title, because I don't know what the fuck a Magus is.
Magnus sounds like the name of a final boss.
What's a Magus?
Okay, wait. So I just Googled, and Magus is a member of a priestly caste of ancient Persia, or a sorcerer. So I'm going to say it's the sorcerer one.
Nice. Yeah, I figured it's just, like, related to the word mage, so I pronounce
Right.
it the way I would pronounce mage,
yes,
sort
right.
of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Ancient
figured
Magus
that
Bride.
out.
Also, I think there's a grammatical error in the title. It doesn't really make sense. The Ancient Magus Bride. There should be an apostrophe after that S.
There is.
Is there?
Yeah,
Yes, there is.
actually
Maybe I
is.
haven't been looking at the title well enough. Maybe it's just like the actual like title logo that doesn't have it, or maybe it does, and I'm just an idiot. Anyways, so now
Let us
that
know in the comments.
Yeah, let me know. Am I an idiot? The
course.
answer is yes. I'm telling you now, so that you don't have to, but you will anyways. But wait, yeah. So now that we've sort of established that we kind of didn't like this show very much, if you're a huge fan of this show and you're not prepared to have it be shit on by three lovely boys, maybe hang around and expand your opinions a bit. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because I just thought you were going to tell them to stop
Or
listening.
if you're like a masochist.
I like
just
to throw some curveballs. But yeah, you know what? If you get off on being hurt, that's what we're here for.
Guys, all the characters in the show are outlined in brown.
I'm glad. It's been a while, dude. It's been a long time since...
Actually?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's-
The thing is, I noticed it very discreetly in the first episode, and after the first episode, I checked out because the show is a piece of shit.
I like how you said discreetly, like you just murmured it to yourself under your breath. It's brown.
brown.
But yeah, no, thank you. It's been a long time since we've had an outline report.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm back. I'm back, baby.
He's back, baby.
I wish it was a first show that I liked.
Yeah, but wasn't the last one Mob in green?
No, there was one in
No,
between.
there's a-
I think it
I
was
don't- Attack on Titan?
no, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Oh,
Everybody's
true.
outlined in brown as well. Yeah,
Right.
But you guys didn't react well that time that I brought that up. You guys just stared at me blankly.
You
And I
know
was like,
what?
Miss Kobayashi was like, okay.
What, the show?
yeah, it was,
Oh,
like,
like compared to
good-ish.
this dude.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
This was
shit.
that was a fucking jolly stroll through the
Yeah,
park.
I enjoyed my time
Oh,
with
yeah,
that
that's
show.
true. To
Yeah.
me, I think this show was, they had an idea for a show and some good ideas for a show, and they had 6 episodes worth of a story, and they made it into 24
That's a
episodes worth of a
stretch.
story.
Jesus,
I
dude.
think the whole show is a stretch.
I think
Yeah,
it could have been.
I think that's what's the issue is, like,
Yeah.
that's what I said, like, it made me wonder about what could have been, because I think at the end it got kind of good, and I think most of the show was kind of not good at all and very boring.
I think you're super right with the fact that they had an idea, at least for like a relationship. They had like the idea of like the workings of a relationship, and they're like, how can we build a story around this? And they just didn't. This show is so much nothing, and it really took a toll on me.
Actually, I just realized that this is a lot like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Like, Kobayashi's the main character, and she acquires this otherworldly character, and she kind of like teaches it a bit about what it's like to be human, but it's like slice of life-ish. And that has some similar elements. Like at the beginning, they even say like, you know, I think a character comments, I can't remember who, in one of the last episodes, before their relationship was like a father and child, and now it's more like a mother and child because she's teaching him what humans are like.
I got some
Right.
shit to say about that.
Except the show was not very good. Like,
Yeah.
it was definitely not as good as
Right.
Kobayashi
but
is-
it takes that like
Yeah.
slice of life bit and that like
The main
what it is
characters
to be
are both
human.
women with ponytails that have red or pinkish hair.
You're
which is kinda
right.
cool.
Yeah.
And they both go to Dragonlands. Well, technically Kobayashi
I
never
guess.
goes there, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know, yeah, I was definitely also because like when I started.
Kobayashi is like hot, dude. Like Chise, fucking cheese
Oh,
queen or
God,
whatever her name is
cheese
over
queen.
here. Like, I don't want any pieces of that.
all
That girl's Swiss cheese.
dude. I just
She's
thought,
good though.
Swiss
Yeah,
cheese
I just
fucking
wanted to
rules.
say something
Don't-
that,
yeah,
like,
you know,
I don't know.
it's got some real holes in it.
Hey.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, with Chise, my fucking. As soon as they were like, oh, her power is putting people to sleep, I was like, no shit. You don't say.
show
Yeah,
Cast
it's
a
fucking
sleep spell on us.
It's taking a toll
Oh,
on
I
me.
get the joke.
There you go.
Right.
Get
Yeah.
the
Thank you for your charity, Sean Khan. But no, I had that idea too, Dylan, when there was a point where I was like, is this a slice of life? Like, am I expecting there to be like a plot, but this is just like a genre where that isn't a thing? But I feel like they were leaning so heavy into like, oh, here comes the big part where they drop lore on you and they explain how things work in this world, and oh, here's the foreshadowing of where the
That's
story's
every
gonna go.
episode.
Well, but the thing is, it doesn't go anywhere. It never goes anywhere.
Yeah, it never goes
so many
anywhere.
times episode ends on cliffhangers, and then it's just like, oh, that was like basically nothing.
Yeah,
Dude,
and then it's
almost
resolved
every episode,
right away.
first of all, there's a lore dump about how this fucking stupid-ass society works. But also,
It doesn't-
they
yeah.
introduce a villain who you think is a villain, and then the next episode you find out that they're actually a friend, and you're like, wait, why were you even antagonistic towards this in the
Dude,
first
Yeah,
place?
Lindell. Yeah, it's so stupid.
There's more than just the
It
one
happens
episode,
all
yeah.
the time where they try to like, it's like dun dun dun, shit's happening, and then oh no, wait, never mind, it's fine. Like when the fucking weird Rinnegan gray mage guy who throws the fox skin over Chise. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, now she's a fox, and then that resolves immediately.
What is a Rinnegan?
Naruto reference with
Rashingan? Wait.
Rasengan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's the eye thing where it's like
Yeah, yeah.
spirally and it's not Sharingan. Anyways,
Oh, yeah, Sharingan, right.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
somewhere
That's what I was
in the
thinking.
middle.
and it's just like and yeah, with Lindell where he kidnaps her literally by like
and then
eating
they're like,
her.
oh
you're
my
like,
god!
oh no, and,
then
it's
he's
like never mind. He's
I'm a dragon keeper, and
Exactly.
you're gonna learn about dragons.
also
and-
I'm your
what the
grandfather,
fuck?
and it's
Yeah.
like what? That's stupid. And also yeah, just the main kid. What's his name? He's got like a weird Latin long name, and he goes by like the main evil guy who's there most consistently.
His name is like fucking Daniel or something. some stupid shit.
I just called him Little Pegasus.
no. Okay.
He does look like Pegasus
He's just
from
a
Yu-Gi-Oh!
little Pegasus.
Oh, he does.
Right.
He's got the same hair.
Oh, sorry. No, his name is Joseph.
Joseph.
And then his other name is Cartophilus.
Oh yeah. Cardophilus.
Or Cardophilus?
Sean,
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. Sean's
Cardophilus.
shaking his
I'm
head.
just shaking my head. It's stupid his name is.
It's pretty dumb.
Cardophilus. I think that's right. That's the
yeah.
right pronunciation.
It's just like they
hope.
keep building him up, and there was like every time he shows up, it's like, oh, he's the big bad. I wonder what his plan is. I wonder what he's doing. He's never doing shit. It's just it never goes anywhere. It's always confusing. His motivations are so muddy, and then when you do get explained his motivations, you're like, I don't fucking care, dude.
It's just another villain who can't die who wants to die. Fucking boo hoo.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Usually the shit you love.
It's funny because I was just about to say that's usually the shit Sean loves. Like you've said on this podcast, I love things that
If it's-
can't die
if
but
it's
want
blue,
to. So it's so funny that right now you're saying boo hoo.
Yeah. Oh,
Shows
God.
how jaded the show made you.
Yeah, holy shit.
It's just the same song and dance, you know? And it doesn't do anything to make me give a shit.
So I think learning a little bit more about Cardophilus, however you say that. Sorry for mispronouncing it, but that's because this show.
I don't care.
But slash, what did I even call his name? Oh, Joseph.
I want
yeah.
to mispronounce it.
Like saying, for me, that reveal at the end made the show more interesting to me, and that's why it made me wonder about what could have been, because that was pretty interesting, and I think the show made me numb to it to a certain extent. Like I probably would have enjoyed it.
I've become so numb.
Oh god.
there was a moment where we did that earlier pre-podcast, and it just felt right.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Dylan.
But I'm saying, like, I think I would have enjoyed that more if this show was shorter and it cut a lot of the bullshit out.
Yeah.
It felt like, to some extent, it was too little too late. Like, I still enjoyed it, but I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like, now it's interesting, and now the show's over.
Right.
Which is why I feel like there were some good ideas here, and the show could have been, like, maybe a good 6 or 12 episode. Let's say 12 episodes. So,
right, yeah.
like, it could have been decent
The only time when I was watching the show and I thought, hey, maybe this could have been good,
Yeah.
was when that, like, harpy, soul-sucking pixie lady is following that old man around his house in his garden, and she's sucking the life from him.
Lane and
That was a
Seed or
really
whatever.
interesting
But
episode.
even that plot was shoved over 2 different episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
they
sure
could-
the episodes weren't even side by side. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
they weren't. Yeah, they
It
were.
was-
I
yeah.
almost forgot about what
was going on there.
What
Yeah.
the story with them
Also,
was.
tell me, why the fuck do I give a shit about fucking cats having 9 lives and you need to slaughter cats to save your wife? A different guy. I'm talking about a different plot line right now.
The
but like,
first real piece of shit that
like,
happened
what
in
the
the show.
fuck are we talking about here? I thought we were talking about a skull trying to fuck a woman. Like,
Yeah. I thought she was catching that bony dick. What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
And that's what's weird. It's like this show doesn't really know what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like it tried to be too many things.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the problem. Like it started off being like, "Oh, I'm bought you and you're going to be my bride and maybe I'll teach you about how to be a mage."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of uncomfortable." She's like 15.
Oh,
Very uncomfortable.
Let's
but
not even
It's
go
because
there.
he's an animal and he doesn't realize maybe what a bride
He's
is.
like
and
fucking
he's just
1,000 years old or some shit.
Yeah,
Well, it's probably fine because when you're 1,000, everybody who's
Is
under 100
a
is
baby.
essentially an infant.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, everybody I could possibly fuck is an infant.
No matter what
Whatever,
you're
dude.
doing, you're a
Might as well
baby
be
fucker.
Japanese.
Right, yeah.
Right. And young, I guess. But that was so it was like very uncomfortable, especially the first episode he like bathes her.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
they
yeah.
acknowledge
Right off the bat.
that it's weird and they
Yes!
acknowledge certain things like, "Oh, hey, this
That's
is
fucked
weird."
up.
Like,
Yeah.
Like,
oh,
I'm
you
going
wanna
to
be a
marry
bride.
you. Yes.
And she's like, "Oh, he told people about that?" Or like, "Oh, you were serious?"
Yeah,
like they
that
like
was
say like,
like-
"Hey, this is weird." And I think it's because he doesn't really know. Like he's like an
Right.
animal basically.
Sort of. I also just, man, while we're on that, I guess I just fucking hate that inconsistency. I don't like the fact that the mage's character, I've already forgot his fucking name. What is it?
Elias.
Elias.
I didn't like that Elias is so fucking on the fence. But it's like, okay, are you going to be the ancient teacher or are you going to be a dumb baby? And I get it. Like, I understand if he doesn't know how like humans interact or like he's trying to figure out humans, but he still retains like his ability to reason logically.
You know what
right?
what I just got reminded of that
What?
the show is kind of like?
Yeah.
Like the dynamic between Elias and what's-her-face, Chise?
Yeah.
It's like Inuyasha. Inuyasha and Kagome.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the fierce guy who sometimes turns into a dog demon, but
Yeah.
other times he needs to be babied because he gets attacked and shit. And like, teach me how to be human because I'm half human, but I'm also a demon, so I gotta defend you sometimes.
Right.
That's what this is like.
Also, he's too much of a baby. Like, he runs away and cries and, like, loses control of his powers and shit and, like, tries to strangle her with tentacles. And it's like, yo, chill, dude.
So this show is Inuyasha meets Miss Kobayashi meets bad writers.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just a lot worse. Okay, before we continue shitting on this, which I promise you we will, remember how I said that there were parts of this that I liked?
Yeah.
I feel like there are moments. There are moments where I see exactly what they're reaching for and like what they're trying to get you to take away from it or what they're trying to say about relationships in general or like just big ideas. And I'm like, you know what? I like this. This is nice. Like the first 3 episodes that were the prologue basically where you see a little bit of Chise's backstory, how she's kind of neglected as a child, how she finds this magic escape in the woods, and this guy provides her sanctuary. I really did like those 3 episodes, and I feel like that's all this show needed. If it were just those 3 episodes, I would have been like, you know what? I can give this show like a thumbs up. Like, it's fine. Even though it is kind of like out there and there's some like weird shit going on, I think the point it was trying to make about isolation, loneliness, and just being a person and trying to connect with other people, and it being okay to be alone sometimes or to feel like you don't have anyone out there, and that being a normal part of living and growing up, and this sort of teacher figure showing this misguided child that that's a thing. I was like, this is beautiful. This is nice. I really like this. And I felt it. I was like, you know what? I feel this. This is good. And that's about all I liked. And then every now and again where they're like touching on sort of like relationship dynamics and they're like, oh, like it's give and take sometimes, or like I can't think of like specific examples because I've just tried to wipe this from my mind as hard as I could. But yeah, anytime they sort of touched on like they got to the heart of it, they were only there for a second, and it's just surrounded by layers of bullshit, and I'm like, fuck, this is just, I can't take it. I can't withstand it.
About like the structure of the show and the story, the only thing that I can say that I kind of liked was I saw somebody say online, and I don't remember where I saw it, that this show is like playing D&D, and in some ways it is. It seemed like a D&D session with one player and one dungeon master, where they're just guiding one player through a fantasy world. Because, like, you get this girl who doesn't know what the hell's going on. She gets introduced to a character. Boom. Then she, like, gets to learn a spell. Then she gets a wand. Then she gets this shit. Then she goes to a Dragonland. It's just like a DM slowly trickling you plot lines in a story.
It's like all this shit they came up with beforehand. They're like, I gotta get to it somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So it does feel a little bit like D&D. Also, the fact that she gets a familiar.
Right.
Which is like the animal
the
thing.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth, I didn't understand that exactly because, I don't know, it was just like he was just a dude / dog, and then they're like, hey, do you want to become my familiar? That means if I die, you die. Why would anyone accept that?
Do you want to
why would I ever want to be tied to someone else? Like,
do you want to be part of me forever?
Yeah.
Do you want to enter my soul and feel what I feel?
Yeah, I was very confused. Like, I didn't understand why anyone would agree to that deal.
It's like, I know I met you 5 minutes ago and I saw your old master's head sewn onto the body of a man spider, but maybe that makes us close.
She's
now.
like, hey, I live with like a giant scary monster. Do you want to be bound to me? What? What? Why? No, I don't want.
He, like her, also has no reason to live.
Right.
She's living for Elias, and the dog is living for her now.
Right.
So somebody's got to live for that dog now.
Oh, I just fucking hate that so much. Just how bland Chise is. She's so fucking nothing, dude. It's just like deadpan delivery. I get it. She's traumatized. I get it. She's seen some shit, but it's like, can you emote? Can you feel something? I can't relate to this. And I don't know if they want like people to project themselves onto Chise and her be a blank slate like in all of these other fucking like Sword Art Online and like isekai animes where it's like the protagonist is just a nothing so that whoever's watching can project themselves onto the character and then live out some kind of fucking power fantasy. Maybe it's the other way around where it's like, have you ever wanted to be bought and sold and then boned by a fucking deer monster? Maybe you do. Maybe you can project yourself onto Chise because she's so much of a nothing in this show.
She's just a body pillow.
Dude. It's
oh my
like,
God.
And I hate it. I hate it so much where she's just like, I have nothing to live for. My mother killed herself in front of me. So now that this fucking disgusting monster that wants to buy me and own me like an object and fuck me at his leisure, decided that I'm valuable to him. Now I'm valuable. And that's my whole purpose now. It's like, what?
Yeah, and that once again, it just feels like one of the problems is just like the way they just drew everything out. Like maybe if we saw, like, because I found the flashback to Chise's childhood and then the subsequent flashback to Joseph's origin story, like I found that really like interesting. But once again, it's like too little too late. Like maybe if we got those things much earlier, we might care about Chise like a lot more, or we might understand a little bit more about her and why she acts like a certain way. Because like I get the frustration with Chise.
Man.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
Right. So the fact that this anime even like got itself on my table is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why. It looks pretty, and it's made by Wit Studio or whatever, I believe, which made Attack on Titan. So good-looking anime, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember thinking all of the background art was beautiful. And some of the animation is kind of lax. I was like, this is... They're cutting some corners, but...
But the fact that, like, this show could run multiple episodes and become popular enough for Brennan to hear about it and then make me hear about it is, like, it makes me just doubt the community. Yeah. Like, where are you guys at? Sorry, I don't mean, like, our listeners. I love you. I just mean, like...
The anime world at large.
Yeah, like, what are you trying to, like, poison me? Do you not care about my well-being?
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Why would you?
I
Why
mean,
would you? Yeah.
I'm not as cynical as that, but I can't help but wonder why, because there's got to be something else,
Dude, I
out
felt
there better
I
than
felt
this.
Yeah.
so angered at the
Right?
fact that this show was making me jaded. I was like, I don't want to sit down to watch this show, and every minute I spend sitting down to watch this feels like a waste of time and a burden on my soul. And that's the opposite of what anime does to me.
Maybe-
So stop. Stop it.
Maybe this is a show that you don't binge, though, that you watch once a week for 20 minutes, and that's it.
But there's nothing that
Right?
makes me give a shit, dude. As soon as the fucking arm gets big and crazy and they have to swap eyes and shit because of some fucking lore, oh, dragons put a curse on me, it's nothing that even ties into anything that's come up earlier in the show where it's like, oh, they brought this up before, it's coming back, oh, it all makes sense, it's all cohesive. It's just bits and pieces of shit that they just sort of like, oh, let's like whip open our ye old Gaelic lore book and just pull as much shit as we can and just pack it in here so it seems legit and gives us an excuse to animate some like pretty woodland creatures because Britain is a magical country or some shit. And it's just like you're making work for no purpose.
This show, now again, while you were talking, has reminded me of another anime, Durarara. Because it has like mythical creatures a little
Yeah,
bit
the
in a
dual head.
semi-modern world.
Yeah.
And it's a very slow-paced show as well, with
Right.
like cliffhangers, but they don't lead to a lot of things and stuff like that. But this show makes Durarara season 2 and 3 look like a masterpiece.
Yeah, because
I don't want to sound whiny. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the show, but it made me question anime.
me too, and
my
I didn't like that, dude.
Dylan, I'm sorry, like
No, I'm okay with it.
I don't fucking know, man. It just like it fucked with me, dude.
Yeah,
It was so
I feel that.
off-putting.
Like it wasn't. It's like not to the point where it's like, oh, why am I watching anime? I hate anime now. It wasn't that. It was just like I don't want this to sully the taste of what anime is
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and it's doing such a great job of sullying it.
Like there have been shows that we watched for this podcast or movies that we'd watched that I wasn't totally feeling.
Yeah,
But there was nothing like this so far.
right.
Where
Yeah,
that made me
that stuff
feel
almost-
this way.
Yeah, because almost that stuff was like bad and it was funny. I think that this is truly not like bad. It's more just like completely mediocre, that it's like unremarkable.
Yes,
Right.
And there's like
dude.
nothing salvageable. Like even us shitting on it isn't that satisfying.
it's not
to me
even
right
so
now.
bad. It's
Exactly,
good.
yeah.
There's
You
nothing-
know, like we had fun shitting on Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence.
Yeah.
because we can laugh about that.
Also,
Yeah,
I
I'm
knew
not
when
laughing.
when I pressed play on that, I knew it was going to be over in 2 hours.
Yeah.
right.
Also, like shitting on that Death Note live action movie
Yeah.
was amazing.
that was
Yeah,
a
that was
fucking
fun.
ball, dude.
Yeah, it was so amazing. I'd watch that movie again.
Yeah, if only to laugh at it.
Yeah.
I wasn't laughing during any of this. I was like, please let it just be done. And it wasn't. It's like, and okay, bringing it back to Durarara, it's like, yes, that show is fucking a lot of nothing, generally speaking, but its characters are endearing enough, and the plot that they end up weaving through the relationships of characters are complex enough and engaging enough that you give a shit to watch the next episode.
Right.
It's not, even the standalone things are funny and quirky and stylized enough that it's like, this is fresh and new and it's good. This just felt like fodder for fucking porn. Like, this is so someone can make Magus porn and just feed the fandom that exists
God.
out there.
Oh.
You know
Well,
it
I don't wanna
exists.
shame
Google
anyone,
it
but,
now. I don't care what you're into. Good for you. But the only reason this thing exists is so you can jerk off to it. It's true.
But how can I be a furry if I'm fucking a skeleton?
It counts, dude. It has antlers.
Bony.
Bony.
But yeah, power to you. Do what you want. Fat to the show.
Let Elias take you to the bone zone.
Yeah, man. But like,
God.
I don't like the fact that this show doesn't have a reason to exist. I need a reason to exist.
Oh god, that's a reference.
So, there's one other thing that really, really bugged me about this show, and I think I don't know the terminology for it, so I'm going to ask for your help.
Sure.
But I noticed that a lot of times. Oh wait, no. Every time they had the opportunity to do it, when there's like there's tension. There's like they relieve the tension immediately. This like the drawing becomes like chibi. It's like less detailed and like
gets cute
super cartoony.
Yeah.
But like every time, it's like a tense scene. And then it's just like, you didn't tell me that. Like, you know, like some bullshit fucking line.
And then it goes back, or it tries to at least. And
there's there's one that I wrote at the end. It's like where they're talking about the dragon, like them having to go save the dragon that's being up for auction.
Yeah.
And this is after the scene, or this is after the episode where Elias freaked out and nearly killed Chise, where he had to, like, he wrapped her up.
The tentacle thing.
Yeah,
right?
because he didn't like that she hung out with that girl. And and
fucking God.
And so they say something like, Elias says to Chise, like, we can't go because it's dangerous, and like the state that you're in, we can't risk it going to save the dragon. And then Chise says, like, you forgot the state that I'm in that one night, right? And it's like, oh shit, she's like dropping a bomb about like how he like nearly killed her. And then it cuts, and then to another character, and they're like, what one night? There was a one night? Oh, I don't know about one night. Like, why? Why did you do that so many times?
It happens all the time. It's never funny. It always pulls the
edge
tension.
us.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, that fucking sucks, but this reminds me of... I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and he said he started watching Full Metal Alchemist, and I was like, whoa, that's dope. You're starting with the original series, right? And he's like, no, I'm starting with Brotherhood. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Because Brotherhood skips past the first half of the series really fast and it ruins it. Well, it doesn't ruin it. It's a great show. It just like it assumes you know what happened in the original series, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, are you liking Full Metal? And he's like, you know, I don't really like Brotherhood because like things are like really serious, and then it cuts to like a joke every now and then. They turn into chibi characters, and I was like, yeah, the original Full Metal doesn't make that mistake.
Right.
It's only Brotherhood that like tries to get you through the episodes with that gimmick.
Exactly, yeah.
I just thought he was a fucking idiot for not watching the original. Anyways, yeah, so yeah.
This show does it way too fucking much.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. Like, I made the note a few times.
And it's just even worse when they're fucking grasping at straws to create a tense plot to begin with. It's like, are you trying to make me give a shit about what's going on? Because everything you're doing is working against that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I want to bring up this show's biggest grasp at trying to make me like it.
Yeah.
So I love Full Metal Alchemist, right?
We all do.
And Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, two of my favorite shows of all time.
It's, the Church of Chumps.
Ancient Magus Bride has an alchemist character, a female alchemist character who's blonde with a ponytail that wears a black tank top and a red hoodie.
Yeah, right. Does she wear white gloves too?
I don't think so. Well, maybe, but
you never know.
And I was like, why is this character just Edward Elric?
Yeah.
And is an alchemist and is only like the real alchemist that hangs around with the main character.
Did they call?
Are you flaunting it in my face?
In the dub?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, they call them sorcerers in the sub. So I didn't make that connection, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
Nice.
Anyways, it was offensive.
Yeah, it's wrong.
That's
not good.
It was like blackface. Like, don't do that.
don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't.
How dare you wear the face of Edward Elric?
But yeah, there you go. Another perfect example of shit hitting the fan and you thinking that they're going to be like a prominent baddie, and then within 15 minutes they're like...
They're the best friend main character. Yeah,
it's like...
Get out of here. Go shopping on Christmas.
Like, they were literally the antagonists in that fucking stupid cat episode where they're trying to free the cat Butcher. Whoa, Butcher, you think that's another Full Metal Alchemist thing?
Barry the Chopper.
Chopper!
Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah, I fucking hope not, because Jesus, this was... Yeah. What a mess.
This is all just, they tried to do too much.
Also, God.
Tried to be too many things to too many people.
Fuck. It's also just the way certain things resolved were so corny. It's just like, stop. This doesn't make me feel anything. Like the fact that during that cat episode when Chise is like, oh, I'm going in, I'm gonna purify them, and then someone's telling her to kill them, and then she's like, wait, I can do it without killing them, and then they're like, oh my god, you can do it without killing us, and then everything ends up happy and tied up with the bow, which I'm like not against. I'm not against like a nice, like, wholesome conclusion where you feel good at the end, but like, I didn't give a shit about any of these characters, so I don't fucking care what happens.
The only person in the story that got resolution was the succubus and the old man in the garden.
Yeah, even they didn't really get resolution because he didn't say I love you, or no, she didn't get a chance to respond to him. He just fucking evaporated into the ether. She's like, oh, you
Sorry,
idiot.
the only character that got resolution was the old man.
Yes. Yeah.
Shoutouts to Joel.
Hey,
Oh yeah, Joel, right.
Joel,
I don't know what his name
dude.
was in the Japanese.
Probably the same
Sub.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Joru-san.
Shit, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you guys remember? Anything else that
24
that pissed you
fucking
off?
episodes.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that happened that.
So
Oh, man.
there are a couple things. Okay, so there's one thing I really liked,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't occur. It only occurred in the first few episodes.
Yeah.
But Elias's comeback when people would make fun of him was to just say "die,"
Yeah.
which was fucking jokes. I loved it. Like, because it kept being a thing, and I just love the idea of someone making fun of you and you just responding "die."
I think that might have been a dub thing, or like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
man.
might not have been that exact thing verbatim in the sub,
Okay.
or if it was, it just went over my head, and I. Yeah.
I swear, like, sometimes it was really casual. Like, he'd say it almost as the other person was saying their next line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind
kinda
of funny.
I also want to point out in episode 13 when I think Chise's in the dragon world or something, and then she comes back, and then
Right.
Elias is talking about how he missed her.
Oh,
He
yeah.
says, "You left, and I was terribly cold, even though it's summer," and that felt like Weezer lyrics to me.
Darren, how dare... I'm just-
Darren,
Who's Darren?
fucking
Sorry, I was going to say, Dylan, how dare you? And so I said Darren.
Darren,
yeah.
how dill you?
Darren, how dill you equate this show to one of the best bands of all time?
the sentiment.
So,
So
like,
you left, and I was terribly cold, even though it's summer.
If
Come
you're
on,
if you're new here
that's some White Album shit.
and your first
a great
experience
album,
with
2016.
the Shonen Chumps is just us shitting on this show and you don't know what's going on, there are things you should know. Like, we love Weezer, we love Yeezy,
That's
we,
Kanye West.
we love Full Metal Alchemist. I love Evangelion.
We like poking fun at Drake.
Yes,
We also like anime.
we do. We promise we do.
Like, despite us shitting all over the show.
Go
today.
check out another episode where we're like shitting our pants over something good.
And if you like the show, that's fine. Like, more power to you. I want everybody to enjoy everything on Earth.
you know what, fuck.
I mean, except for murder.
and
And any other crime.
everything else.
Yeah,
that's bad.
any other crime that hurts other people. If it's a crime that doesn't hurt anybody, just fucking do you.
Like punching someone in the dark.
Yes, man.
I mean, that would hurt somebody, though. I mean, like...
Simpsons.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. I didn't know that. I meant more like stealing something from a corporation. Like, nobody's noticing, nobody's getting hurt. Just do it, you know?
But yeah, you know what?
Shonen
Fuck,
Chumps endorses.
yeah, if you're a white collar criminal, fucking hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Tax evasion. Do whatever the fuck pleases you.
Get your money. Get that guap. But yeah, you know what? If you have fucking reasons as to why this is good, please enlighten us, because I don't think we're missing anything in our critiques. I feel like a lot of this is just objectively bad. It's just anyways, on the other hand, something I just remembered that I actually liked. Another one of those.
This is bad. All right, wait.
He's going to bring up a totally different show. We're going to
thing
launch
about
into another podcast.
Made in Abyss. That was so beautiful. No, the shitty rhino. What's its name?
Dragon.
The dragon rhino.
The one that turns
Nevin.
into a tree.
yeah,
Nevin.
Nevin.
Oh yeah, I like the dragon shit.
I like the dragon real talks. I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie. When they were in fucking
The
La La
limbo,
Land,
yeah.
and Nevin was giving Cheesecake some real talks on like
Cheesecake.
how you shouldn't kill yourself, because you know there's like so many people who you don't realize like benefit from you being alive because you're a person who creates difference in the world. I was like, this
Right.
is some real ass shit. You fucking tell her, Nevin.
Yeah, I liked the instances with Nevin.
And that whole thing where he's like, you know, if you were never born or if your mom killed you, person X, Y, and Z would have never had their lives changed. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's such a nice sentiment.
Hey, maybe people like the show because they might be lonely and it might be helping them through a rough time. And if that's the case, like, good, that's awesome.
Dude,
I hope they
feel-
didn't tune out.
Yeah, I know.
real,
Yeah.
like I was saying before, I feel like the first 3, like the prelude episodes, are like amazing for that. Like I was like, my heart was full, dude. I was like, oh, you got me. I know what it feels like to be alone, and what you're saying about loneliness is, it's valid, and I approve of this statement. Shonen Chumps approve of this message, dude. But everything else just sort of made me fucking hate it. So
Yeah. Also, it was pretty beautiful when she goes back to the Dragon World and she sees Nevin that has fully been transformed into a tree.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a pretty beautiful shot.
Iceland.
Just like some of the artwork was pretty great. One thing I really liked, it's more of a reference that they made. The fairy king and queen are named Oberon and Titania.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are the characters from A Midsummer Night's Dream. So they are
yeah.
like the fairy king and fairy queen in that play. And I mean, it's just like folklore, I think,
Yeah.
before William Shakespeare, but that's like their most famous story, I guess, about them.
Right, right.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I recognized the name when I watched the show, and I was like, wait a minute.
Did you find Oberon funny at all?
No, of course not.
Yeah, no.
I don't. Yeah.
I found the little dude funny who was overly protective of them. He's like, watch it, my highness. Don't come. You're not allowed to come close. And she's like, whatever, get over here.
Yeah.
Like,
Little stone man.
yeah. And then he turned into a giant dude at the end.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my thought early on was like, why don't they just fucking kick that guy's ass? Like, he's so little.
Oh my god, I just
But-
remembered something that pissed me the fuck off. That was really stupid. Remember when Chisei almost fucking dies and then she goes to the fairy world with Elias and then they hang out
that
for a bit?
person chokes her or drowns her.
Oh, I see that you're like about to
Yeah.
die. I'm going to kill you now. Oh, see that? You didn't want to die. Now you're better. What the fucking shit was that?
Dude, that was so dumb. That's another one of those things where there's like, oh shit, she's gonna die. Oh wait, no, everything's okay.
I don't.
And just the logic and everything.
How many times does this show cry
Screw you,
wolf,
Tanya.
dude?
This show should have been a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It could have done everything it wanted to do in 2 hours.
And
Honestly,
yeah, maybe it would have been
dude,
good.
at the fucking beginning, I keep going back to those first 3 episodes with like the black monster all like wiggly and shit. I was like, oh, like this is almost this, just the way this looks and feels. It feels like a fairy tale. It feels kind of like a Studio Ghibli movie. Like it felt like Spirited Away. Like No Face is a similar black consuming monster that has like square teeth and shit. And like that was a thing that was chasing Chisei as a child and like trying to kill her and it was wearing a mask and stuff. I was like, this is very like much probably a nod to Spirited Away. And just like even the way the scenery was painted and a lot of the way they presented foliage was just beautiful. I was like, wow, these trees and these leaves just look so nice. And the whole visual feel of it made me think Ghibli. And I was like, oh, this is giving me a good feeling. But you know, they didn't follow through.
Yeah.
Dylan?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I can't believe I forgot to mention this earlier, but Sean, you mentioned Fullmetal Alchemist.
Of course.
As
I do.
One, the fact that they have alchemists in the show. 2, the fact that there is a character who looks like a female Edward Elric. But in the flashback, when she talks about, I can't remember her name, but whatever. When she talks about how she met Renfred and he like took her under his wing, she talks about one instance where she was cleaning his library and she opens a book and like a demon thing comes out. Do you remember what that demon looked like?
No.
Because it is a straight up callback to Fullmetal Alchemist. It looks like
right.
the black one-eyed creature from the other side of the gateway. Like, it looks like this.
Oh,
It looks.
right.
We're gonna have this pop
Nice.
up. I think I have it still.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this pop up right now if you're watching on YouTube.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I remembered this, but I forgot to take a note of it.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's
Dude.
like exactly what it looked like."
I did not make that connection at all. The only thing that came to mind was Monster Rancher.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That show
Great
slash
show.
that video game on PlayStation
Shout
1.
outs to
Yes.
Monster
Yeah.
Rancher.
Yeah.
One of my favorites as a kid back in the day.
Right. I think you mentioned it in our top 5 podcast.
Of
Did
all
I?
time.
That's a plug
Oh.
for ourselves. If you
Yeah.
want to listen
top
to
five.
that.
Top five.
Go check that out.
Yeah, if you like us and our opinions, you might want to listen to what we consider to be the top 5 anime to us personally.
Yeah, listen to
Yeah.
us gush about something
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
change.
So the very last thing that I have to say is that while you guys were talking again, I remembered something that is better than this show. That is a 2-hour movie that people should watch. It's called The Boy and the Beast.
right. Yeah.
Made by a great director.
Yeah.
I believe he made the Digimon movie, etc.
Yes,
Other things. It's a good movie, and it follows like a similar plot line as Ancient Magus Bride.
Right.
Yeah, consider watching it. It's very cool. Very cool.
Okay, and I have one other thing that I want to say that I liked. So this is another reference that the show made. Actually, I don't know if you can say that I liked it, but it was interesting. Some backstory is that my partner has a really old poster that was her mother's when she was a child.
Yeah.
So if it's like from the 50s or something like that. And the poster has all of these different fairy tale creatures
Whoa.
or from like lore all in
Yeah.
one in like this giant world, and they're all little characters and they're like doing their own different things. And
Top 10 anime crossovers.
yeah, so I was looking at it and I noticed, and the title of one of these characters is a little off color for today's times, but it's called The Wandering Jew.
Oh.
And I
God.
saw that and I was like, what the hell? Like, what is that? So I looked it up, and the original legend is this guy who taunted Jesus when he was being crucified, and he was cursed to walk the earth until the second coming. Now,
Whoa.
in this show, Cardophilus, they
Is that dude.
allude to Cardophilus being that dude.
yeah.
They say that Cardophilus, so they allude that Cardophilus was the man who threw the stone at Jesus and is now punished with immortality. And that's something that I thought was like pretty cool. Like what I liked about that was not just like the fact that he can't die, but that one, Cardophilus is now merged with Joseph, but Joseph is angry because he's being punished for a crime that he can't remember committing because it was so long ago.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
thought like that was really cool.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
thought that was
profound.
really interesting. This like anger over something he can't even remember doing.
See, that's good motivation, but if they just fleshed it out more...
Absolutely, yeah,
It's
and that's
like-
why there was like some good ideas, and that's one of them.
It's just half-baked.
Like I thought that was like, oh, that's like pretty cool when I watched that and I realized that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I thought, man, there's just so much potential. And like even the final fight, it's like, what the fuck? What even happened? It's like, I didn't care at all when it seems like she's gonna fail and then she succeeds. It's just like there's no catharsis. There's no me rooting. There's no stakes either because this show cries wolf all the fucking time. And yeah. Dumb shit.
Yeah.
Some dumbass shit.
Could have been.
That's like the end. That's like Roses by Outkast, like crazy bitch, stupid ass bitch, crazy dumb ass shit, crazy show, stupid ass show, crazy show.
could have been a nice Ghibli quality movie. Instead, it's
Honestly.
like 12 times longer.
Honestly.
than it needs to be.
If they just stuck to maybe like one theme, and they're like, oh, like the meaning of love, the fact that we all face isolation,
I really thought you were gonna say ISIS.
the fact that we are
In a way, we all do.
we're all fighting ISIS
Yeah.
in our hearts.
If you're not,
It's a mental battlefield.
But yeah, no, they could have just fucking trimmed the fat. There's so much fat.
There's so much fat.
I'm drowning in it.
The show is a lard factory.
And on that note, I think we can say we're done.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about the show.
Would you guys watch another season? Or a
Oh,
sequel?
yes. No, absolutely not.
Fuck no.
Yeah, absolutely fucking.
I wouldn't
are you-
recommend it.
Ugh.
And that's it. I wouldn't want people to see this and
In
think
fa-
that this is anime.
In fact, I did the opposite, and I complained about this to someone. I told them that this was an awful show that was sucking my soul out.
Yeah, Dylan, I agree. I would not recommend this show, and I would not want somebody who doesn't regularly watch anime to stumble across the show.
Dude, I'm
Because
pretty...
it'll taint it. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is just
Yeah.
the nonsensical bullshit that you idiots consume. Oh, fuck that. I'm never giving this medium a shot ever again. Dude, this show, I think, won like a fucking... Or like didn't win, or like was at least nominated for like a Crunchyroll award or something for like best drama, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Crunchyroll hasn't even sponsored us yet, so what do they know?
I mean, yo, listen, if you work at Crunchyroll, you wanna send us a nice little sponsorship or something, we'll suck every show's dick. I don't care. But
We'll suck your dick.
yes. But like the thing is, it's like who the fuck is nominating this for anything? What, this isn't a good drama? Is this a drama? Is this what qualifies as a drama? Did this feel dramatic to you?
Sure as hell wasn't a comedy, Brennan. I don't know what you're getting.
Man, this was just... I mean, okay, listen. If you're new here, I'm really sorry if you just think we're shitters, because we're not shitters. This is an anomaly episode. We don't normally do this.
If you think we're shitters, or if you love us, you can email us at shonenchumps@gmail.com.
Smooth
Tell
transition.
us all
Tweet
your
us.
thoughts. Tweeted us at Shonen Chumps. We're also on Facebook, Shonen Chumps.
You can reach us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts,
leave us
the
a
Google Play Store,
a review, maybe, if you feel like it.
SoundCloud. Yeah, leave us a review if you want to.
and
'cause, like-
anywhere that you get podcasts.
Yeah.
Or just like, leave us a 5-star review, or whatever the fuck you want, and leave a one-word comment, like dope, cool,
Dang,
pussy,
bad.
bitches. Don't
Crazy bitch.
Maybe, yeah, crazy bitch. That's a good one, Dylan. Right, crazy bitch.
We're gonna get a bunch of 1 stars, and it's all just gonna say
crazy bitch. Yeah.
Hold on. If they actually gave us 1 stars, but they wrote crazy bitch, I'd kind of be like, I'd be okay with it, because it
never
means that they
getting that.
listen
Yeah.
Dude,
to the whole thing.
we're never getting that Crunchyroll sponsorship with a 1 star.
Or leave us 2.5 stars and comment saying that Magus is the best show of all time.
But you know what? If you really do like the show, send us some, like, leave a comment on the video. Let us know why we're wrong, what we missed. If there's something deeper here that we're all too stupid to see, I doubt it.
Yeah, but we love you.
We love you. Keep emailing us.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I have been Sean.
You still are Sean.
And who are you?
Brennan.
And who are you?
Dylan.
Nice.
See you, Space Cowboy.
Peace out.
I'm stoked to shit on this. I am happy to destroy this. Welcome to Shonen Chumps.